Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Lunchtime News, this 5th day of February 2021. My name is Wadulo Anorld, and without further ado, let's get straight into this afternoon's bulletin. School and higher education institutions are to reopen on March 1st with strict adherence to the COVID-19 prevention measures. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in a televised address, directed that schools reopen for semi-candidate class learners and all tertiary and university students in a phased manner. In March last year, the country closed all schools and education institutions to curb the spread of COVID-19. On October 15th, schools reopened for about 1.3 million candidates and tertiary and university finalists to complete their studies. According to the Ministry of Health, the country has about 39,735 cases of COVID-19, with 14,310 recoveries and 372 deaths.
Can now also come to school in order to complement what they are learning through long-distance education. I think the idea here may be to stagger them, for them to come. One class comes for some time, they top up what they are learning from long distance, and they go, and then after some time they go away, and then another class comes like that, so that we maintain the smaller numbers, because now you hear out of the 15 million, once we have the two batches of the candidate and semi-candidates, the number goes to 3 million. Which is still much less than the 15 million. 20% using the space of the previous 100%. Now, once the present candidate classes go away, that means the 1.3 million go away, so you can now be able to bring in these other staggered classes. I don't know whether the Minister of Health here would want to have like a maximum, a ceiling, for instance, to say out of the 15 million, do not at any one time have more than so many. If she tells us 3 million or whatever, then we shall be guided. They will work on it. Now that will come in a staggered way. They come and go away, and others come and go away. Others come and go away. Then they continue learning at home. Those are the tactics of surviving in this terrible situation. All this has got some chibaro, some calculation. You know, the children coming to study and going back home can be a source of big trouble for the society. The young people, when they get infected, many survive, overcome the corona. Even here in State House, we have had some of our young children here who work here. Quite a number have been infected and they have recovered. But the problem, so therefore the school population could get infected, but some die also, because some young people have died. You remember the first person to die in Uganda was the young woman from Namisingwa, who was only 34. That was the first person to die. And during the campaigns I showed you here on the TV, a girl of 5 in the US who died from corona. I showed you the picture here.
Well, schools reopening being the subject matter of his address. And this goes without saying that we should be preparing ourselves emotionally, physically, and economically, or to say financially, for the schools to reopen. Now, in other news, the International Criminal Court has convicted Dominic Ongwen, a former commander of the Lord Resistance Army, LRA, on 61 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Presiding Judge Bertram Schmidt revealed that the best on the evidence before court, there was no ground excluding Dominic Ongwen's criminal responsibility, and his guilt was established beyond any reasonable doubt. Details follow with Samuel Sedan.
With 70 counts of war crimes against humanity, Dominic Ongwen, a former commander of the LRA rebel group, is the first defendant at the ICC to face so many counts. The trial chamber, composed of Judge Bertram Schmidt, Judge Peter Kovakas, and Judge Raul Kano, analyzed the evidence submitted and discussed it before the trial and found beyond any reasonable doubt that Ongwen is guilty of attacks against the civilian population, further sexual and gender-based crimes he committed against girls and women within the Senior Brigade, and the crime of conscripting children under the age of 15 into Senior Brigade and using them to participate actively in hostilities.
The chamber has therefore convicted Dominic Ongwen of a total of 61 crimes, comprising both crimes against humanity and war crimes. To try to sum up in a few words the lengthy and technical verdict rendered by the chamber, Dominic Ongwen has been found guilty beyond reasonable doubt of a number of crimes committed in the context of the four specified attacks on the IDP camps of Pajule, Odek, Lukodi and Abok. Attacks against the civilian population, murder, attempted murder, torture, enslavement, outrages upon personal dignity, pillaging, destruction of property, and persecution.
In his defense, Ongwen, through his lawyers, had cited mental defect during the period he is alleged to have committed these crimes. He further argues that he was under duress when he is alleged to have committed the crimes. However, the trial chamber judges didn't find any evidence supporting these claims.
Dominic Ongwen did not commit the crimes found by the chamber under duress. There is no basis at all in the evidence to hold that he was subjected to a threat of imminent death or imminent or continuing serious bodily harm to himself or other persons at the time of his conduct underlying the charged crimes.
This case was also the first at the ICC to involve an alleged perpetrator and victim of the same war crimes. Following this verdict, the chamber will impose on Dominic Ongwen the sentence for the crimes he has been convicted.
For the purposes of determining the appropriate sentence, the chamber will also consider submissions by the prosecutor, the defense from Mr. Dominic Ongwen, and the legal representatives of the participating victims. A decision in this regard, including as concerns the strict timelines of the proceedings leading to the imposition of the sentence, has also been issued by the chamber this morning.
Uganda was the first country to refer a case to the ICC. This referral led to arrest warrants being issued in 2005 for 5 of LRA top commanders, including the rebel group's leader Joseph Kony, his then deputy Vincent Oti, and Dominic Ongwen. Ongwen surrendered himself to U.S. forces in the Central African Republic in January 2015, and his trial before the ICC began in December 2016. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
In a related news development, residents of Gulu City in northern Uganda have welcomed the decision of the International Criminal Court on Dominic Ongwen. Now, the former rebel commander of the Lord Resistance Army has been found guilty of 61 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Locals in northern Uganda say that such a decision will deter others from committing similar atrocities. Let's take a look.
To some other parts of the world, Thursday, 4th February 2021 may have been just like any other ordinary day, but in Uganda, it was historical. Here at Queen Parish, in Laro division of Gulu City, residents patiently waited for the sitting of the International Criminal Court. The Hague-based court was scheduled to make judgment on Dominic Ongwen, a former LRA commander.
Let the court take its action. It should not be interfered with. If they find that he can be put in life imprisonment, that is the decision of the court.
Everyone was anxious. When the wait was no more, both children and adults paid attention. At the end of the day, a decision was taken. Ongwen was found guilty of 61 out of the 70 initial counts of war crimes that he was battling.
Particularly on the attacks against 4 IDP camps in northern Uganda, on the attack of Lokode, Odek, Pajule, and Abok. And in this attack, the judges found that there are reasonable basis to found that Dominic Ongwen is guilty of enslavement, destruction of properties, burning houses, and so many things in the camps.
The day may be historical, but the case is not yet conclusive. So, what next?
The judges will now wait for the submission from the parties of the proceeding. They will wait for the submission from the office of the prosecutor. They will wait for the submission from the defense, and they will wait for the submission from the legal team of the victims. They'll have to submit on their views and their concern, and from which the judges will now come out with a sentencing.
To the locals who had followed the proceedings in silence, it was a step towards aiding justice for victims of LRA atrocities.
This one also teaches us, the people of the whole world, or in Uganda particularly, to know that for sure there is no any human being above the law.
ICC also, they should wake up and take a good, I know that Ongwen is going to be a good example for all the citizens and some other country.
The International Criminal Court issued a warrant of arrest for Dominic Ongwen in 2005, following Uganda's referral of the LRA matter to the court in 2003. He was indicted alongside 4 others, 2 of whom, Okot Odiambo and Rascal Ukwiya, have since been confirmed dead.
Our mandate is to see that justice is delivered.
With Dominic Ongwen now convicted, what message could this send to other rebel fighters who would have loved to seek amnesty and denounce rebel activities? Henry Okrut, UBC.
In more news this afternoon, government has called upon Ugandans to report any alleged incident of kidnap to police for proper investigations. The Minister for Internal Affairs, General Jeje Odong, was reacting to parliamentary concerns. He said that so far they have 44 cases of alleged kidnap and human rights violation, adding that investigations are on. Now, legislators were also concerned on the use of cameras installed in major towns to curb crime. Details follow.
4 cases of alleged kidnap. 7 of this, that is Muyanja Suleiman, Sebaduka Ali Bogere, Twaibu Dumba, Chibirige Emma, Junju Sharif, Kakai Jane, and Babiro Rita were not actually kidnapped. They were arrested and were charged, and they have been bailed. 4, that is Lumu Ronald, Kabale Bernard, Mugarula Ronald, and Shafiq were kidnapped, were not actually kidnapped, but they were arrested. Galiango Rogers, allegedly kidnapped from Chebando with 10 others, resurfaced 3 days later, so they are no longer recorded as missing persons. Kiwanuka Fred was allegedly abandoned. We are yet to take a statement from him to determine how he disappeared from Mukoro and appeared in Bushunju. From this, therefore, 31 cases are yet to be traced. And these 31 are summarized as follows: 11 from Chotera, 9 from Cheba and Nansana, 1 from Buaise, 7 from Mukono, and 1 from Kireka, and 1 from Mukono. That are the 31 who have not yet been able to account for from the 44 who have been reported as kidnapped.
What is the use of these cameras that you have, Honorable J.J. Odong? In Chireka, where we're talking about, there are more than 10 cameras, almost every after a few meters. What is the use of these cameras?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I feel that the statement of the minister must be holistic. I have heard from the media that the deputy IGP has given instructions to the intelligence agencies to give report and urgently about the missing person. Now, if this minister is the one presiding over the same ministry, and your technocrats are asking themselves as to who is responsible for this arrest and where are they?
Of the present IG, Inspector General of Police, there was supposed to be, or there was a census of guns in this country, I think with a view to identifying who has the guns and withdrawing those guns which are probably not in the right hands. But we are concerned that you see people on the street with no uniform, no identification, armed in the open and walking, and life just goes on. We want to know who they are, who can account for their guns. Thank you, Minister.
I want to take this opportunity to inform you that indeed the cameras are functioning and they are doing a job they were designed for. It is also important to note that the cameras do not cover 100% of the entire country. Even in Kampala, where they are now functional, there are still gaps. And we ought to remember that some of these gaps may be taken advantage of.
We'll now take a short break, and when we return, we'll be back with more news this lunchtime, so stay tuned.
Stay connected to the largest 4G network in Uganda, anytime, anywhere, using the Airtel 4G Pocket MiFi, available at only 123,000 Uganda shillings. This comes with 15 GB free, valid for a month. You can connect up to 10 users at a go and still enjoy a shared yet unmatched internet experience. Dial *175*9# to activate free 15 GB. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we are not going to leave anything on our plates, because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes! In
Enjoy great value from Airtel with the all-new My Pakalast combo offers. We have customized especially for you the best deals on minutes, data, and SMS with our 3-in-1 My Pakalast combo to give you the best value as you stay in touch with friends and family. To activate My Pakalast voice combo, dial *100 *2 *1# to get started.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Beyond Beauty Parlor and Spa, your beautification destination. We believe in suitable beauty. We offer pedicure and manicure, makeup, hairstyling, plating, weaving, dreadlocks, massage, waxing, facial and body scrub, name it. We also offer additional services like honeymoon packages, hiring venues, and vehicles for brides and grooms. Training interns from different beauty schools. We are located on Uganda House, ground floor 5. Call to book for your appointment on 0702 645 015 or 0414 696 229. You can WhatsApp us on 0752 645 005. Email us Beyond Beauty Parlor and Spa at yahoo.com.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Lunchtime News here on UBC TV, and it's now time for the business news. Now, time is out for persons with disabilities to lament over poverty and joblessness as the Ministry of Education and Sports embarks on vocationalizing the education program. Through the Directorate of Industrial Training, students with disabilities at Mbale School for the Deaf have undergone competence assessment in different vocational occupations under the new dual curriculum, aiming at producing graduates with employable skills which are competitive in the labor market.
Money that is put in a person, it must go towards them, and we must change that person to be a productive Ugandan. We always give them a chance. We tell them we lost those chances. This is the last one. Don't accept to lose this one. And they become so humble. Then we give them a lot of examples. We are close to them. Themselves, they tell us, you know, we were wireless. So you have helped us now. Our wires are connected back. Now when they come, they say, we are going to do hairdressing, tailoring. It's like that's the only thing they come. But when they come here, we take them through everything. And we are surprised. They say, okay, I'm going to do plumbing, I'm going to do welding, I'm going to do shoemaking, and they are skyrocketing. So to us, it's really a success story.
My advice to my fellow devs, I encourage them not to just be redundant at home, but to continue, look for where to get these skills, like in this school, from Mbale School for the Deaf. They come and study, when they acquire the skill and get a job. It will be very easy for them to get what to support them, not to sit at home relaxing, waiting for other people, making people to undermine them in the villages, that deaf people are bad. It is not good.
Very inspiring right there. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries is urging farmers to then not plant crops in this period. Projected weather forecasts indicate little rains. Now, in the same range, the ministry appeals to farmers to improve on the quality during harvesting season. The Minister of Agriculture, Vincent Bamulanga Chisempija, made these revelations at the Media Center in Kampala.
Farmers are advised not to cultivate in rainy seasons that are not reliable for farming. Sempija says the ministry shall earlier inform the public the time for planting when the rain starts between March and May.
The rains will start in March, and the rains will go through up to May, even part of June, and then we're going to have enough rains for the farmers to plant wheat, even be enough.
He adds that the outbreak of COVID-19 affected the ministry and led to price fluctuation. However, there are means undertaken to stabilize the situation.
Prices have been affected. Prices of our exports, prices of our export crops like coffee, prices of maize, prices of some of our products, including milk, including eggs, including other poultry products like the chicken that we export. There are various reasons. There are really various reasons, but some of them are due to logistics.
Minister also encourages farmers to improve on quality during drying of crops. On the other hand, the ministry, together with scientists, is there to produce pesticide and vaccines that will kill ticks in livestock. That is to be launched officially in the period to be communicated.
We are close to getting our own vaccine, the anti-tick vaccine. We are also close to getting vaccines that can fight the ACF, that AC fever.
Farmers are encouraged to inquire advice from the extension staff officers of the ministry on how to produce harvests on a large scale. Irene Faith Nantongo, Andrew Sebida, UBC News.
And now we take you to the world of sports. Arua-based Onduparaka Football Club has signed a 3-year, $625 million sponsorship deal with betting giants Ababet. Henceforth, the betting giants take on the shirt sponsorship rights, with the stadium name now changed to Ababet Greenlight Stadium. This deal comes just days after the club has lengthened its stay with MTN Uganda and just days to the Uganda Premier League restart. Currently, Onduparaka is the 7th after 5 games, having collected 8 points in its next 5 fixtures, starting with a date against Ginger SS. The club plays table toppers UPDF, Chetuma Police, and reigning champions Vipers. Let's take a look at the bite.
We started humble and one thing that we have always believed in. We believe in working together with the community. Onduparaka has come out to show that you can actually work with the community to get to where you are. We also believed that, like you had seen on our videos that we were showing relating government and Onduparaka, it is believed that if you want to go fast, if you want to go together. So together with Onduparaka, we want to start this journey and see where it will lead us.
We're very honored and excited to have Ababet on board as the lead sponsor of Onduparaka Football Club. It's been 2 years since we last had lead sponsor on the front of our shirts. So this sponsorship means everything to us, because one of the struggles that clubs, especially from the grassroots, face is financial challenges. So for us to be able to have a lead sponsor that is going to enhance our finances is very important for us, because it's motivation for the players, but it's also a motivation for us as management to invest in the development of the club and to sustain it in the top flight. This also, again, motivates us to accelerate our performance, especially now that we are going into the 2020-2021 season. We've done quite well so far, but now there's a huge task for us to ensure that we start on a high note and that we maintain our performance amongst the competitive teams in the league for this season, in order to have value for the sponsors that have come on board for the club.
And that brings us to the end of our lunchtime bulletin. Up next is the score with Ruben. Enjoy. My name is Wadulo Mark Anorld. Have yourselves a great afternoon.